What's going on, guys? So we were going to get this valve cover off. We're going to go through some things here. Back in November at World Cup finals, broke a transmission and it sent it to the rev limiter. It pretty much just neutraled out and pre-revved at full power. Actually happened on the 1-2 shift, and when it did that, it smacked the rev limiter so hard that it ended up breaking a rocker arm pretty bad. So left needle bearings everywhere. Fished them all out at the track, got the rocker replaced, but I didn't go through all the rockers to make sure that they're all good to go. So we're gonna actually pull the valve cover off today, go through them and make sure they're all good. So let's get to it. You know, World Cup was a lot of fun. Long trip. I mean, that's coast to coast, but man, it just sucked going over there and breaking the car like I did. And, you know, I mean, it just kind of puts a damper on everything, you know, and what are you going to do? Get the AN lines off of here. They're full of condensation. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's quite a bit of condensation in there. That's just from running the car here in the garage. Methanol gets a lot of condensation into the catch can. I'm sure that catch can's probably got almost a half quart of condensation. So, not a big deal. Okay, let's get the coil plug off. Well, race season's right around the corner. Trying to get this thing ready. I've been kind of neglecting it. There's not really much that needs to be done. I mean, I already fixed the transmission after we got back from World Cup, because we were planning on going to another race, but ended up not going due to financial reasons. But, you know, the transmission is fixed and it is ready to go. Pretty much the whole car is ready to go. I just need to make sure I don't have any cracked or fractured rockers in here from World Cup, since I didn't really have a chance to check all that, and got thinking about it the other day. I'm like, man, I should probably check that. Race season's gonna start here in just a few weeks. I'm super excited. I've definitely had some, been having some cabin fever. I don't know about you guys, but I hate winter time. That's every racer's worst season is winter time, or at least mine. I can't stand not being able to race. I mean, we live on the Northwest over here, so we get 4 seasons. So, but anyway, let's get that out of the way, and got all the bolts undone, so this thing should come right off, which it did. Right there. And let's check these out. These are Kelford 288s. I don't like the way these things wear half the time, but every Kelford cam I've owned, they've always had this weird pitting and just, I don't know. But anyway, it was this rocker that, or pretty sure it was either this one or that. No, it was this one. It was this one that broke at World Cup. This is the one I replaced. So we're just gonna get in here. Yeah, it was this one. It was this rocker that broke, but hopefully you guys could see that. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything too crazy here. All the intake rockers seem to be fine. So when it hit the rev limiter, I'm not surprised that it broke a rocker. You know, I'm not surprised one bit. Let's see, let's get my ratchet. This is my my track toolbox. I use this toolbox when I go to the track. Okay, so we're gonna get this thing, we're gonna turn the motor over by hand here. Get my trusty phone light out here. and start looking at these rollers. Not really seeing anything yet, so I think we might be okay so far. But if we do run into one, you can bet your bottom that I'm going to be replacing it. Preventative maintenance, isn't that what they say? Okay, so we're all looking good. We're all good there. Let's keep turning it over here. Looks good. No fractures. I don't see anything. Everything seems to be looking okay, but it's always best to double check. It's looking pretty good. I think we're okay. I'm not seeing any other rockers that are fractured or cracked or anything. There's no big marks or anything. Typically, if you got a cracked rocker on the roller, the wear pattern on those rollers will look pretty bad, what we call witness marks. And I'm not seeing any of that, so I think we're good. I don't think we're gonna have much of an issue there. Man, that condensation just poured everywhere, it made a mess. We need to empty that catch can, so. But yeah, everything seems to look all right. I don't really see a problem here. I don't think I'm gonna have too much of an issue. I'm almost considering just throwing a torque wrench on the head studs just to click them. I'm not gonna break them loose or anything, but it's torque wrenches up here. So I got these things torqued at 107 foot-pounds. I don't tend to go much over that just because it starts bowing the head. A lot of people will go to 120 and then they constantly ask themselves, why do I keep blowing head gaskets? You're kind of over torquing that head and just blowing the living hell out of it. So I'm not going to break them free. I'm just going to go over them and just make sure they all click. Which is good. One more time. I didn't like the way that. Okay, yeah, they're all good. So none of them moved. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. If I had one of them move, I would probably break torque on all of them and go over it again. But I typically don't like doing that because it usually unsettles the head gasket. Well, that's my experiences anyway. I mean, if you go over top of them and they all click the same, then you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. But anyway, let's get the, well, yeah, I need to wipe this down, give it a quick wipe down before I put the valve cover back on. I may have to change that valve cover gasket. Man, I've reused it quite a few times now, pulling this valve cover off and double checking everything. And it's been a while since I changed it. So let's get that all tied down and then zip this thing back down. So on these, you know, you could use an impact if you know how to use an impact. Damn it, I did it. Anyway, if you're using an impact, you know, you could slow the speed down and it won't over torque them or anything. So, but if you know what you're doing, you could use an impact, which comes in handy, especially for this, when you got so many bolts. You know, a lot of people, they'll crank them down and be like, damn it, I stripped it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna gently run these in. Now you're probably wondering why I have different bolts here. Well, picked up this head, all the outers, they were stripped out. And I didn't want to helicoil all of these. I just tapped them all out for the next thread up. So that's why I got different bolts here. I'm too lazy to go get matching bolts, and quite frankly, I don't really care. It's a race car. So don't judge me. Corner one here. So I'm just gonna go over them a few times, and then I am gonna go over these by hand. See, I'm just barely pulling the trigger on this thing. So, okay, now it's time to go over them by hand. I tell you what, this Craftsman swivel head ratchet, this has been my best friend for 10 years, man. I've had this thing, actually probably longer than that. My dad bought this for me for my birthday many years ago. And I tell you what, this thing has been the most durable ratchet I've ever had, and it's so nice to have that swivel. Makes life a lot easier. Okay. Always do a star pattern, or a cross pattern, not star pattern. A cross pattern on these to evenly put it down, just like you're doing a wheel or a head studs or head gaskets, you know. You want to do cross pattern. Okay, they're all nice and snug. Feeling that way anyway. Go over one more time just to ensure. Definitely don't want to be blowing the valve cover gasket out, because these motors at the boost levels that we run these things at, man, the crankcase pressure is pretty severe at times, especially running on alcohol. You know, when you're running on alcohol, you get a little bit more blow by, you know, just from the nature of the fuel washing down the rings a little bit. So, but yeah, that feels good. All right. That is ready to go. Let's go ahead and put our coil on plug back on. This is a standard 300M coil on plug setup. Nothing too fancy. It's been working just fine for me. So I don't feel like I need to spend well over $1,000 on an ignition system. I mean, this ignition system, I got a Dynatec Arc 2 ignition box up underneath the dash, powering these coils. Between the Dynatec Arc 2 box and the coils and the plate, I'm still, you know, I'm under $500 into it. Not even that. I mean, the coils, you can pick up the coils at a junkyard for like 20 bucks. Or you could pick them up brand new for like 20 bucks a piece from Rock Auto or anywhere else. But so again, on the coil on plug, you just want to walk it down. And again, I'm just barely pulling that trigger, not reefing on it. And then I go over it. My trusty ratchet. All right. That's all good to go. Let's get these, actually, you know what? I should probably pull this catch can and empty this bitch. This thing is, probably crammed full of condensation. So it's always best to check your catch can and make sure she is empty. Otherwise, you could end up with a pretty good mess on your hands and oil down the track. Now I put it up in that corner because a lot of people, they like to put it up here. I don't like having a catch can in front of the tire, so I put it in the back here so that if it does overflow, it's not going to go in front of the tire. Okay, pull that out. It's just kind of general maintenance of what I'm doing to the car right now to get this thing ready for the season. Get this thing out. Oh yeah, this thing has got, there goes, oh shit. Yeah, this definitely got some condensation in this. Watch this. Ooh, look at that. Holy cow, just went over the floor. That's fun. That's great. Well, at least it didn't go on my shoes. But yeah, that's all. That was all condensation. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Yeah, it's always fun. Good old trusty brake clean. Look at that. It just wipes right up. Yeah. I'm a dumbass. I spilt it. Good job, Jake. Jackass. I had a lot of condensation in there. Man, I guess that's what happens when I fire up the car a few times in the garage and it just fills up with condensation. Don't empty it out. Let's get this baby back in. All right. 2 Ugga Duggas. Let's get the filters on. Yes, I am OCD with the Canon logo. They have to be facing just right. Alright, let's get the... You get up there. Alright, let's get these AN fittings on. Man, I am excited to get back out to the track. Been kind of a boring, well, not kind of, it's been a boring, very boring winter. Alright, good old blue shop top. No! Shit! Well, looks like I'm gonna be, I'm gonna run to the store to get some shop rags. Okay. Alright, still got the 12 AN line to put back up here. This is from my my block from the balance shaft hole. So this actually allows the block to breathe very well. That was probably one of the best things I did. Okay, pitch can is back in. So, all right. So we got our valve cover bolts all nice and tight. All the rockers seem to be fine. I didn't see any issues there, so that's kind of a relief. So we're off to a good start. No problems. Not a whole lot more that I need to do to get this thing ready. I gotta put plugs in it, put my belly pan back up, and we will be ready to go race. So I know today's video is kind of boring, but you know, this is the kind of thing that we do behind the scenes. We just kind of been working on the car. It gets kind of boring at times, or unless it's really big catastrophic failure, which that's probably gonna happen. Amount of power that this car makes, it may happen. That's bugging me. It's bugging me. I'm OCD big time. It has to be straight. That's better. Okay. But anyway, sorry for such a boring video. Hopefully some of you guys watch it and enjoyed it. And if you made it this far, thank you very much. And I'd appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we will see you next time.